When you get in a band like that, it's going to be a test of your virtue. Where do you come down on how far you want to go out? Because you can go way out there.
You go through his record collection, he had stuff like Queen and things like that. I was like, listen to the Stooges, listen to some old T-Rex, listen to Bowie. He liked Bowie, but, you know, he didn't know the good shit. And then all of a sudden, he knows all this stuff. I was like, yeah, I wonder where you pick that up from.
Oh, Four Roses. Oh, Bullet. Oh, Bullet is even better. Outstanding. Again, the siren's gonna be Brooklyn. My stage name was Madonna Gacy, and I played in Marilyn Manson. A common friend of ours introduced us. She said, "You really like this guy. He's weird like you." And so we just started talking. I think our first conversation was like the best way to commit suicide. That kind of shit. When the band was first forming, Brian kind of asked me, well, can you play keyboards? I'm like, I don't think so, but I can press buttons on time, you know? So I decided to go out and buy a sampler. And they started taking me to see local bands. And we'd sit down, I'm like, they're not that good. We could beat these guys. We would have a joke that we want to be bigger than the Beatles. And I remember a lot of people in the band didn't believe that because they'd been in multiple bands. Like, this is like my sixth band. I've seen it, never happens. No one gets out of Florida, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, we're going to fucking do this. And that's one thing about Brian. He was very highly motivated.
Crash and burn.
When you're in a band and you're going around and touring, you're like a group of pirates just moving from port to port.
Marilyn Manson is about transcending morality and sexuality. No boundaries, gray area.
When you get in a band like that, it's going to be a test of your virtue. Virtue untested is no virtue at all. Where do you come down on how far you want to go out? Because you can go way out there. If people want to have sex with whom they want, I think that they should be able to. As long as the people are willing participants. Share with minors, it's a different story. Brains aren't developed, blah, blah, blah. But that's a legal problem.
I wouldn't let my children go to see it. I don't know why anybody else would want their children to see it.
They assumed that we were satanic child molesters or something. We kind of made ourselves a target deliberately, you know, by trying to be like, we're the perverters of youth.
I want you with a passion. I have something to tell you. I will do anything for you, anything.
I want Twiggy, I want Twiggy, I want Twiggy. I want to look up a skirt. I want to rape Twiggy.
When they have these prayer vigils circling your venue with candles and they're all praying for your soul, like, that's sweet of them. If they want to do it, that's cool. Our free speech is their free speech. They can come and protest me. I can say I don't give a shit. Talk good about me, talk bad about me, just talk about me. You know, if you can't be famous, be infamous. It's still good.
Marilyn Manson's music contains what some call a violent message and what some say is partly to blame for the Columbine High School shooting.
I don't really see how that had anything to do with this, except there are people who like your music. I mean, I imagine there's people who love Elvis Presley and fucking committed murder. I can think of a million other things that had more to do with like running to a building and shooting people. We never promoted killing random people or, you know, doing silly things like that. Like, how is that going to help anybody? We're more about having fun. At first, it wasn't that bad. But then later on, our tour got canceled. No more dates. Nothing. Yeah. To the best of my knowledge, Brian did not do things with minors. You know, he was very aware of that. In fact, our tour manager, on the corner of our daily sheets, he would write the, you know, age of consent for each city in each state, because every place is different. So that way the band knew, do not fuck with shit below that. Here's your line. I never saw him mess with that line. I saw a lot of things in there that I know he didn't do. I just know it's not him. There's other ones I'm like, that might be very true. You know, it's case by case. Like, I'm not a legal expert, so don't quote me on that. But
You know, I think he's got a definite case, you know? It's going to be tough for them to prove. Men have done bad things through history. And I'm not saying that's an excuse. But dog will hunt. I don't even know any way to put it. It's like, not that it's fair, not that it's right, and I don't want anybody to be abused or hurt, but I think a lot of people got into relationships with men who were bad men and regret it, and now are trying to find a legal recourse.